Hey Goji, I think with that we are live. One of these days we'll start on time, but not today, Goji. Not today. Alright, Goji, let's jump right into the recap. We did some stuff this week, which was a surprise given how the week went, Goji, but you know, we keep on pushing, crazy or not. Um, Sorry, I'm moving stuff on my desk. I should be more on topic, but one day. Okay, so let's look what we got. Obviously, this looks a little different than last time we opened Blender Goji. I played with animation stuff and more rigging. So we talked about some of that last week. So let's just jump right in. So we actually before I show that, let's look at walk. We have a walk animation. So some things I discovered, Goji, which are like come on, Goji. They're like the most obvious shit in the world, right? I'm sure anyone who knows Blender is like, yeah, dude. But, Goji, we gotta remember, I'm not always sober when I'm doing this, so I gotta give myself a little grace there. And I'm allowed to be stupid, because I can take as much time as I want, because this is still luckily hobby stuff. Sorry, spaced out. Alright, Goji, this is the walk animation. We obviously worked on this some last time, but I've tweaked it up a little bit, and I think I've got the hat lined up. So some stuff I've learned. Yeah, I always forget if the mouse is on screen or not. So I've learned I can pin these. Like, boom, it's gone. And now I'm like, oh no, what am I doing? Object mode, armature, pose mode, A to select all, repin that sucker. So now I can pin the armatures that I care about. We'll come back to that. That was a spoiler. We'll come back and talk about everything going on there. It's nothing crazy. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's simple. It's just I didn't really set it up before. So we've got some bones, and I really shouldn't be animating these Goji because these are like mechanisms. I should have a control bone that blah 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 blah. But we got to get it done, Goji, right? It's about getting software out, and I'm already slow. Click. Yeah, the hat wiggles. The legs wiggle. The hat may be more than I need, but Goji, I'm trying to take the approach of like push it too far and then get it into Godot, and if it's still too far, then I pull it back. But I want to get him to go first. So I kind of like it. I like how it like covers. I guess it's always fun to the 3D wiggle. God, it's so weird to like actually rotate grease pencil. Okay. So we got that, and that's working pretty well. So we're going to try and get that into Godot today. And then we'll keep playing. Yeah, we got a little idle, Goji, a little wiggle. I still have all these pins. I wonder if I can change pins per thing. Whatever. Just a little wiggle. And then I don't know if we'll get to this today, Goji. We might. But I got a little idle pop where every once in a while I can just shoot its hat. Why does it? I'm going to assume that's some render shenanigans, that one. And maybe if I rendered it by frame, it wouldn't do it. I actually wonder. He's a little whoop. Maybe that's like anti-aliasing trying to figure it out. That's weird. I didn't notice that before, Goji. I like the little hat pop. It goes down, it pops back up. That's fun. I'll probably do that every so often. Like if the idle's been going for like 20, 30 seconds, we'll just do a pop. Or some random amount. I don't know. We'll figure it out state machine style in the future. So Goji, that's it. We got some animations. Let's talk about the rigging that actually does this, because man. Okay, so this is, let's save before I change anything. Let's look at walk, because that's got the most. I'm sure, Goji, there are smarter ways to do this. But this is how we do it. So let's make these a little smaller so it's easier to see. So this is dope sheet timeline. I probably don't need all these Goji, but it makes it easier for me to see. I probably should just be switching between these. But I'm still figuring it out. So we've got this control walk, control bend. I didn't actually show anything that used control bend Goji in the setup. So control walk is a bone with some constraints. It's a control bone. that limits its location between negative 0.25 and zero point 0.1 in local space. So that lets it do this, and it can actually, if I take it all the way back, it will negate that extra rotate at the start. So Goji, if I do that, you see how that little leg's kicked back, but if I want it to be standing, I do that. So how do we do that? Well, both of these two leg bones have some constraints that do that. So we've got cycle, so I can actually hide these Goji, which is really nifty, so you can see what each one is doing individually. So the walk one, the other leg still kicks out. It has its own constraints. Let's just look at this one right here, right? So that back leg, so it moves forward, moves back. That's what this does. The left and right just moves forward and back. And then we head back to this bone, and then we get rid of the cycle. This may make some stuff hard to see. So this is like the rotate. So as it moves forward and back, it goes and flat and kicks out. And then the rotate reset literally just undoes that last little bit when it's all the way left. So how, right? How? Well, that was pretty simple. At least I think so. But I think so now, right, Goji? Like a week ago, I was like, what is this? And now it's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So we've got the rotate that actually does it. It goes from 0 to 0 or 0.025. And it maps to this Z source, the rotation in the Z. It maps from X, and it goes from 10 to 0. And that's why if we get rid of this rotation reset, it does not matter that this thing's actually at negative 0.025. Without this reset, and this is actually pretty interesting to me, without this reset, even though it's less than 0, it just gets pinged at that 10, and it stays there, Goji. Which I think that's useful, but really annoying for stuff like this, when I'd like it to go back to 0. But that's what the reset does. It actually goes from 0 to negative 0.025, and when it goes all the way there, it negatives it out. And that does mean that as it goes there, there's like a swing, right? So I could start all the way. Oh, I think it's still hidden. Right, like it kind of as we go down, it like swings out, and then it will start kicking. We lost the cycle too, but we can just avoid that with how we animate, Goji. What is it like? There's two ways to fix every problem in code, which constraints are kind of like code here. Data is code, right? Or you can just make that never happen, and I just won't animate those values, right? Things will either start in one place, or I looked at some graph shaping stuff. We're not going to get into it today, Goji, because I don't think I set this up right to do that. But like it can do like linear interpolation, which will work just fine, I think. Okay. Is there more to talk about here? Oh yeah. Yeah, let's talk about some of the details here, right? So now, once I realized that these could be pinned, I bet some people just kind of do like select all a lot of the time to get them to show up. But I like the pin. That works well for me. Once they're in the action, then whatever action I select shows up on the dope sheet, which I can then use for exporting, which we'll get to because we need to get the stuff in Asprite and export it. But it made it a lot easier to see all my keyframes, see what I was doing. There was a lot of instances, Goji, where I was struggling, where I just had more keyframes than I realized, and I didn't have everything shown because I didn't fully process what all was happening here. And that caused a lot of weird behavior, Goji. I think we can agree. But now the hat's almost kind of lined up. We go forward, we go back. And I think that wasn't lined up before because I had just extra keyframes I had lost track of because I didn't know what I was doing. Okay, so we talked about the control walk, which is what's doing a lot of the stuff we're seeing here. But if we look at you see that there's also this mech body rotate for the hat. That works. You can see more of that in idle as well. Oh yeah, it does change the pins per, because I have more pins here. Cool. I think I knew that and forgot. So we can go to pose mode, which starts this at 0. So we can look at what's kind of happening. So Goji, if I rotate this, now the nice thing about this is this thing is actually limited as well. You see over here it's got limit rotation, so I just set that to -10 to 10, and then similar to the mapping for the walk up here, I used a transform matrix or transformation. I should have named these better. I didn't. Oh well. There's just transformations that take like the location of some of these bones and that's location again. Here we go. Like the rotation from one of these bones to the rotation of another. So now I know what this will always be, but it will map to here. I have the hat actually copies a bit of the rotation from the spine. So as I move back, the hat gets a little angle too and kind of flicks back and forth, which I like. But I also have a hot offset for the hat itself. Alt R, reset those. So yeah, this is kind of a default like mech thing I got going on where it has some rotation here. And the same idea for this vert, I can kind of do, I don't want to do rotation. So you see a lot of transforms are locked, so it only goes the way I want. And that's an up and down, right? A vert and a rotate bone. Alt G. I don't know if these should be connected just for like ease of use, Goji, but we'll figure it out as we go, right? And then I guess we can look more at the idle pop because it's got a little more going on. So this is why I love Godot, right, Goji? Like this, or not Godot. I mean, I love Godot, Goji. Let's calm down. I love Blender though. I'm really enjoying this. So I was able to just kind of set the keyframes that I wanted. So each of these was the keyframe. So I had like, this is the start, and then I copied just kind of a start because I want the pop to be, you know, springy. And I know I want the shape editor to really give this more spring, but, or not shape, graph editor, but we're not there yet, Goji. We're not there. We're doing some research, but we're not ready to talk about it here. And then I had a down keyframe, and I had the full up keyframe, and then we have a slight, like you see how these are, I think there's, yeah. If you look here, the verts, they're ever so slightly offset, right? And then there's the full reset. So here's down, there's up. So it's boing. I don't know. It's just very springy Goji, and I like it. I like how springy it is. So we'll add that in. But Goji, I think we're gonna try and do some actual Godot stuff today. But we gotta get this out first. And I know I've done some exporting, but I want to try and get at least a reset frame that I'll use for idle for now. We're not going to export the idle first thing. I want to get the idle and run animation, Goji. I want to get the, not the idle, I want to get an idle frame and, or do I just do both? Well, let's just do both, Goji. Screw it. We know how to do that. We did it in the other thing. We can do 2 animations. It might slow us down a little bit, but it will feel good. So let's get idle. Do we want a reset frame? Let's add it. Let's add the difficulty. Screw it. Let's just tack on more stroke, Goji. We want a reset frame. I guess the reset frame is the first frame was our idle animation. What am I talking about? We want an idle frame. Blip, blip, blip. We want an idle animation and a running animation. And the jump can just be like the first frame of idle for now, Goji. And let's do that. Let's do that, Goji. Let's do that. Yeah. So how do we do that? We are on idle. Alright, I have notes for this. I figured this out. Last time we tried this, Goji, we actually did this on stream, right? We just exported the one frame. But it wasn't the right size because I didn't have a clue what I was doing with actually exporting. So Goji, we did look at that. That's kind of part of our recap. So we're actually doing stuff now, Goji, but we're pseudo recapping some stuff I learned over the week. As I'm yapping, I'm trying to find my notes because there's a little function that I really should just like write down the constant for. Okay, I think Goji, we're gonna go 400 by 400. Yeah. Goji, I think we're going to go 400 by 400 for the player sprite. Because we were doing 300 by 300 before, and I think that's ever so slightly not enough. Especially with the hat pop. But I guess we could try. But 400 by 400 is fine. Or maybe we just do 512 for the player. Just to make it easy. Why not, Goji? Let's have some fun. Okay, so I got my notes out. So Goji, the note we care about is there's this scaling thing we need to do. So the width is 1920, and if we want to be able to use a camera to do an action, we want to center the character, the armature, and then we need to do some math. I guess I could set up another camera for this, but I don't want to. And we do 1920 divided by 512. 3.75. Okay. Let me write that down, my little notepad. Y'all can't see it, but I can. 512 equals 3.75 scale. Okay, so. Okay. We want to export idle, and we want to do frames. So we're going to, I guess it doesn't matter what mode we leave it in. Yeah. And then we want render animation. No, because we want to change our output first. Because it's like ctemp, but I want to name these idle. Yeah. Or you know what, let's go even further. Which idle. Spelling's hard, bro. RBG, ooh, we do want, I guess we don't need it. No, we want RBGA, because we want transparency. Oh, this is the thing I forgot. Blender export with transparent background. Yes. Eevee. It's under film? What is this under? Scene? We turned the dither down. That's still done from last time. Dang it, I thought I did this too. Film. Scene. Film. Anti-aliasing. We're going to try 5.5. Oh, wait. Film. World background has been changed. Yeah. Let's save that sucker. Hey, doctor. Cat visit. Why you giving me that look, buddy? Oh, no, you're good. Alright. Cool. That's what we're missing. So now we click on this. We don't want to be in pose mode. We do need to be in object mode because we need to do the scaling. Because we need to change our output. Goji. So we're going to change this to 512 and 512. Now as you see, Goji, it's centered. But it's like just changed our resolution, right? It hasn't changed our camera. So now stuff's too big. So we could move the camera in, but I didn't want to do that. I want to just make our dudes bigger. So we click on this, and we click on object. And then we... Oh, is it going to like... I don't want to auto keyframe it though. Can I just make it bigger? It worked before. So I'm going to hope it continues to work. And maybe... Yeah. And I don't think that got, I think it just exists because it's not keyframed anywhere. And then we won't have the landscape, so we can just get rid of it. Yeah, now we have like, it's actually transparent and it's actually the size. Huh. Look at that. Oh, is it centered though? Yes. Okay, cool. Isn't that dope, Goji? It's a little bigger. I think 312 is a little wild, but it means that our idle pop has plenty of space. And in theory, Goji, this all renders to like the same size. And we can do smaller for enemies. We don't need to be consistent. That's what Godot is for, right? It will handle all that. I guess we export it. Just do it. It's playing right. It looks right. Let's just go to rendering and render animation. You don't need to. You can just. Oh, did it stop because I killed it? Yeah, it doesn't like when I kill it. Okay. Render animation, and now we wait. Wait, what's happening? Does it render animation? Did it work? Did this work? All right, we're gonna check C/temp. Oh, oh, that looks good. All right, let's get this set up so y'all can see it. So, I always pronounce this wrong. What is this called? Sprite? Ace Sprite? Is it just Ace Sprite? But there's that E there. It's very strange to me, but it's useful. So, hey kitty. Sorry, kitty demands pets, Goji. Kitty demands pets. Okay, so we're gonna open this, and then we're gonna just. And it's at 24 FPS, Goji, so we do 24 to math is hard. I've done this I don't know how many times. 24 divided by 60 times 1,000. No. One divided by 24 times 1,000. Here we go. And then we do frame properties 41.7 just to kind of get us moving. Hey, look at it go. We don't really care about this. Chat will Goji, not chat. We don't got no chat. We just Goji. Goji, we don't really care about the time setting here, by the by. It's just so we can see it in A-Sprite. I don't know how I feel about that anti-aliasing, but it will work for now. And it may just look better in the game, because it's really supposed to be like this. That might be more blurry than I want. Goji, here's the thing. We're going to have to play with some of these values. That's why we need to get it into Godot, right? So don't let the ADHD hang us up if it's a little blurry. That's just how it's going to be, and we'll figure it out later, because we know we can figure it out, even if it means doing like pixel art stuff, Goji. Or maybe like, ooh, how would we fix it like that? Maybe we can do some like anti-aliasing after the fact that like only touches the outside. Or the reality is, Goji, we probably just need to turn the anti-aliasing down. I'm sure we can figure something out, Goji. That's the whole point of Blender. I'm not going to freak out about it. We can always do it after the fact. And maybe we can do an A-Sprite or something. But the point here, Goji, is that we can take this and do like, oh, how does this work? Man, I've been in there so much. It's just set loop section. And then we're going to call this idle. And then, oh, I forgot to show A-Sprite. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Goji. Let's do it like this. Here we go. Here we are, Goji. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. We're going to leave this like this, I guess, and then we no, we need to get the other one in. That's why I remember, because we gotta go back to Blender, Goji. We gotta go back to Blender, and we need to render the other animation. So we go back here, we click walk. We're gonna click here just so we start in the right spot, though I don't think that matters. Everything else is set and good. So I think what we need to do, yeah, we need to change this to walk. And I think we just run it, Goji. Render animation. We just wait. That's it. And then we go back to our files, and it works. So let's get in A-Sprite and then take a look at that. Did I close A-Sprite? No, there it is. Okay, and let's get it open here. Hey guys, we're back, and we're gonna just, can we just drop this in here? Okay, and it dropped it all in here. We're gonna fix the frame properties, 41.7. How's that walk look? It's looking like a walk. We're gonna take all these, copy it, bring it over here. Wait. I feel like this always does not quite what I want. Get rid of this, click this. And then what? It's 20 is good. Oh, is it 41? Yeah, 41 is what we don't want. So you take this here. See, how do I like add it onto the end? Do I just gotta click just the right spot? I don't know. So this would be a loop section. Walk. Oh, does it like grab some of the kick out? Was my kick out frame wrong? Hold on. Hold on, chat. Hold on. Back to Blender. Did I have the wrong frame? All right, Blender's back. Oh, yeah, the walk should already be kicked out, chat. There is no like startup. We may do that. We need to open the armature. We're already in the first spot. We click on walk. We need to be in pose. We click here. Yeah. We want that at 0 for this. For walk. Just for walk. That's it. Alright. Let's render animation. Let's try it again. We're gonna get rid of this. Don't save. We're gonna get rid of this. Nah, it did it again. What the? Did I do something wrong? Alright, let's delete it just to make sure I'm overwriting correctly. And let's get rid of this. Wait. What? Oh! Goji. Goji. It doesn't do us any freaking good if we aren't replacing keyframes, Goji. Goji, it doesn't do us any good if we don't replace the keyframes, Goji. Alright, let's try this again. Goji, we did it this time? Oh, that's looking better. Much better. Okay. I still... Is that like a right click append? See, it's gonna add... Oh, it adds it to the start. But I don't want it added to the start. I want it added to the end. Like, that's the only... That works well. Bop. Nope. What about this? Okay. But I got rid of my loop. Can I move this? Can I move this? Nope. Shift drag. There we go. That still looks right. Set loop section. Frame properties. 41.7. Walk. How we doing, Goji? How we doing? Let's find out. Yay! Look at it. The hat wiggles, the feet wiggle, and cycle. That's what we didn't have before, Goji. They cycle. God, you can just see the anti-aliasing shenanigans going on over here. Fair. Oh, maybe I definitely need to figure that out at some point, but not today. So, how do we export this, Goji? We should probably save this. So let's do a save as first. In our like data area. You don't need to see this, Goji. You don't. This doesn't need to be streamed. Which sheet? Oh. No, I would like to save as a sprite. Dev, hey buddy. Hey kitty kitty, what's up? Let's just do which. No, we want it to be the A sprite format. There we go. Which, okay. And now we export the sprite sheet. Export sprite sheet. Ooh, it changed very quick, Goji. I was not prepared. By rows. Fixed number of columns, 20. Horizontal strip, vertical strip, so we'd have frames that don't do anything, I guess, Goji, and we decide how many. So I guess for now we'll do by rows, fixed number of columns, and we'll just do 20. And because we have two, like this Goji will probably change at some point, like how many Goji, but that's fine. I've never really worked with this before, so I'm just glad it wasn't that bad. Okay. Oh, ignore empty. Yeah, I wouldn't want to ignore empty. I just want to include the right number sprite. Sprite grid. You can do like certain ones. Oh, split tags. Generate one sprite for each tag. Guess that's already fine though. We don't want any borders. I think we just go with this, Goji. I think we just export it. Ooh, that's crazy. That's crazy town. Okay, cool. File. Let's do save as. Which.sheet.png. All right, Goji. I think we got it. So, how does this work again? Okay, Goji. We are opening Godot now. I think we just do this. Yeah, sorry. Oop. 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 Okay. So Goji, let's whoops, don't want Firefox. Let's make sure we are where we think we are. So this is where we were, but this is with the old sprite character, Koji, and it's too big, but let's make sure this plays. Ho, 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 ho. See? Exciting. I don't know if this was on stream or not. I think it was. I think don't use rigid bodies, Goji, when you want static ground. Actually, you should probably use tile sets with stuff, but we'll get to those. We're just getting stuff on screen first. So this is from before. So we're going to go back to the player, and we're actually just going to get rid of that and get rid of that. Get rid of those two resources, Goji. We don't want them. We don't want anything to do with them. Okay, and we're going to get rid of that. Why do you require this? Oh, because you're still saved. Yeah, okay. So we're going to create a new folder under assets for which, so we know what, what's what. And then we find out where the heck we exported in Sprite, which was in a directory. Where else would it be? There it is. Which sheet? Which sheet is the which sheet? Re-importing assets. Okay, Goji. We're gonna slow down a little bit, and I can't show all of it because some of this is from a course I took, and it's kind of like, yes, I've edited it, but in totality, like chunks of this are kind of their code, right? So we're gonna be looking at that, Goji, which I'm not putting on stream, but I will try and get over the relevant bits as quick as I can, so that people can see it. And by people, I mean probably me in the future. Okay, so we're still going to use a sprite 2D, which is great, and we bring in the witch, but obviously it freaks out immediately. So we go over here, and we did 20 H frames, and we have 2 V frames. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. That's our witch, man. There it is. So now that we've got this, let's go back here, and we're gonna give it the capsule, and we take this, and let's do like this, and we gotta be bigger because we want the hat. I gotta not use Blender hotkeys. I appreciate that they auto lock that. What's this keybind? Is there a keybind 4G? Oh! Wait. Oh, it's pan. Really? W, E, shift, scale? Ugh. Okay, it's fine. What is this? Q. Okay. And this is ruler. See, I've been so focused on the programming, Goji, that, like, I'm going to be honest, I hadn't even looked at sections of this. I guess I don't want the hat to really collide. I don't want them to take damage from the hat. W. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then we... Yeah. And let's... You know what? I think that's fine. I think that's better. I think that's better. I don't need to overthink this. Let's get it working. Okay, so we need an animation player. It needs to be on the player. So let's just do it right here. Control A, animation player. Okay. Best viewers on... I don't think you should. Yep. There you go. Goodbye. Man, I lose my focus bad right there. Okay. Goji, we are looking at a witch, and we have an animation player, which means we need to add animations. That's not hard. We click the animation player. I guess it was already open. We open the animation thing. We want to hit new idle. Now these are typically in time. Can these be changed to FPS? Can. And we're going to snap to every frame. And then we're going to do 20 frames. This is probably problematic, Goji, for many reasons. And maybe I should go back to time-based animations like I'm more used to. Which I can. I guess it doesn't really... Like, I could just figure out how long it is, right, Goji? Like, at that point, it means I can just set the first and the last frame and just have it go. So I guess if I want it to be... Because it doesn't matter, Goji, right? I should just do the math now so I can think of them in time. So I want 24 frames per second. And there's 20 frames. So... 1 second divided by 24 frames means each frame is blah 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 times 20, which means it's about 0.84, I guess, 0.83, 0.84 seconds, which is weird. Do we want to just slow it down, Goji? I mean, it's idle. We can just slow it down. We can slow it down, speed it up, and if it's if it's a second and we have 20 frames, 1 divided by 20 is 0.05. See, that feels fine, Goji. 0.05, and we did that a lot in the game, so I think that will work just great. And then, okay, so this is another, I'm looking at the other screen, Goji. I'm looking at those animations and how I set them up for the course. We want idle. And this needs to be zoomed in. Fierce. Oh, wait, this is like the old way of doing it. We changed it. Am I going to look at the monsters? It would probably be easier to just look at some of the monsters. Oh, man. I got to get this stuff in here so I can just start streaming it, because this feels so silly to talk to myself. Okay, Goji. We are going to do scene, open, entities... Scorpion? No, Scorpion's the oldest. Boss is like the newest, but also very complicated. Whatever. Animation player. Idle. Yeah, that's what I expect. So... Hello? Oh, zoom. And yeah, so we're going to go and click on our sprites. And we start there. And we could add a track, but we're not doing that yet. We're not there. Because instead we can just say this. And I do not want to use Bezier curves. I would want to bake those into the animation. I want to use reset tracks. And then we're going to change this to continuous. We're going to leave it at linear. Nearest is interesting too, but linear. We're going to do clamp loop interpretation. I guess we'll load this one by default too for now. We'll probably change that. And it is loop. And then we go one step back and we click insert key. And we know there's 20 frames. And then in theory we can play this now. Oh, we went too far because this is, yeah, it's 0 indexed, right? Yeah, so it's 0 to 19. Look at it wiggle. Look at it wiggle, chat. Goji, whoever's listening, which again is probably future me. Bop, 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 bop. We're just making noise now. We're just filling silence. I am lost looking for something on my computer. The next step. Oh, there it is. Don't ask why that took so long. We don't need that. Just clean up some tabs, Goji. Cleaning up some tabs. Okay, so that's our idle. So let's duplicate it because we want all the same stuff, except we're going to change it. And check our reset. That's frame 0. I love it. We're going to go here to walk. I love it. And this is the same thing. We're just going to change it to 20 and then 39, I would think. And then this should just be the running animation or walk animation. Look at it go, dude. Look at it go. Okay, so in theory, if I hit this, you see it wiggle? Oh yeah, I was way over worried about A sprite. This looks fine. Look at it wiggle. It's subtle. And by subtle, I mean there's just not a whole lot going on, but I kind of like that. Wiggle, wiggle. All right, let's get that walk in there. Let's get a walk in there. So we need a state machine. Chat, I guess we don't need one. There's other ways to do this, but I like using the state machine because eventually this will get complicated. Oh boy. Okay, chat, we can't keep doing this. We need to... Can y'all see when I have these menus? Does it show up in the recording? No. Ooh. That's something to figure out at some point. Okay. I guess I'll have to stop being lazy and set up screen captures instead of window captures, but I don't want to do that. Well, this is for me, not y'all, so we are going to right-click, and then we're going to look for Instantiate Child Scene. And nope. That's if we were adding a child scene. We want to save branch as scene. There it is. And then we're going to make an entities player scene. Okay. And now y'all can see we have our own scene here. We need to fix some transforms here though, because we don't want any of that. We just want it here. And then this player can have a transform instead. But it won't. Yeah. There we go. Let's make sure that's still working. Looks great. Is this our main scene? Let's just do that for now. We can always change it later. Okay. Sorry, that was a lot of moving around. We just set the world debuggia as our main scene, so we can use this little button instead of continually clicking back. So just less clicks. It's less clicks, Goji. It's less clicks. Okay, so we have our animations. We need our state machine to more easily move between this. I could do something else, but I kind of want to do this part right because it's the player. And we are going to bring over some code. So first things first, where is all this stuff? It's not in here. It's in like utilities, I think. Yeah, okay. So we are going to make a utilities folder down here. Not that it matters what you call it, but we are. And then we're going to create a new script. And we're going to call it state machine. Can y'all see these windows? No, y'all can't even see when I'm creating a script. Alright, I'm sorry. I'll have to figure something. Oh wait, no. I could add another window capture for at least these. Right? Whatever. I'm making a script called state machine. Doesn't inherit anything. And we'll just open it up immediately. Oh, it's got template. I didn't mean for that to have template. Today I learned. Okay. Nope. I'm confused again. Not confused. I'm lost again. Lost in my own head. Here we go. So state machine, we've got some code for this. So we're just going to bring this in. I think we can just keep it as is. So this is state machine script Goji. I'll admit a good chunk of it's just taken from a course. So there's probably better ways, but this is what I'm using because I can copy paste it. Its goal is we can add states to it. We can set the state on it, and physics process allows it to execute the state and then get next state. And this goes through physics process, so it happens a set number of times, Goji, per second. It uses the physics process, which is, I don't think it's deterministic is the right word. Like, it runs a set number of times, so it's not frame rate dependent. You can use that delta value too, Goji, to actually key everything in. We'll get into stuff like that. We'll get into stuff like that, Goji. Next. We need a state. We need our state because everything extends. So we're going to create another script down here, Goji. And we're going to call it state. And this is our default state, Goji. It has enter, exit, execute, and get next state. This is like a single head state machine or something. You can get more complicated. We may even need to at some point, Goji, but we are just trying to get it working. Okay, so we are going to add a node to the player, and we are going to rename that node state machine. And then we are going to add node and add, let's just do the first one actually. We're going to add it and we're going to call it idle. And then can I like shift? What did I do? What did I do? Can I duplicate? Duplicate. Control D. I thought that's what I did. Okay. Well, we should finish it first. Attach scripts. And these have... Yeah, okay. Okay. We need to make our... Oh, we need to set this stuff up. Okay, slight backtrack because I want to make the animation player accessible, which means I can click here, and I don't rename these, but animation player is just a long word. So we click, drag, hold control, like we can't be holding control as we click and drag, I don't think, because it freaks out, but now we hit control, and then we release the mouse. Yeah, and there's our on ready, and I've been just renaming this to anim. I'm usually not like a huge fan of shortened ones, but animation player is long, and anim's kind of a fun word. You know, so just an anima. It's just fun words. Okay. We'll come back and set up the state machine later. We're going to attach a script to this, and we don't want a new script. Right? This is just the regular state machine. Can I just like drag it? Oh, dope, I can. That's much easier. Alright, but this one though, we do want a new script. So we're going to attach a script, and it's actually going to be player, and it's like player, yeah, we're going to call it, is it under actions or just, yeah, no, this works. So we're attaching a script to idle, and we're gonna rename it to player idle. And it's not gonna use a template because we don't want it to have one. And I'm gonna borrow the idle we had, chat, because we're Goji. Sorry, I'm using the wrong phrase. Idle. All right, so this is copied from the course too, but we're gonna immediately get rid of like all of this. Let's do it this way because we don't have a die, we don't have that. Yeah. And we're gonna play idle, and then this will do the pop, and then we'll come back to all that. We'll need to be referring to roll one because there's so many little like things. So this will get the anim, and we know that this can be a player. Right? I think I did this with the boss in the course. We could type in its state machine. We can. Okay, cool. So we want to type you, I think. Yeah, we're gonna do extends character body. Actually, eventually it extends entity, but for now we're gonna call this class. Well, I don't have the entity script. I have an entity script, Goji. We will bring it in. We're not gonna bring it in yet. So class name player, and now I can type this in our script. So previous state we don't know, but idle phase, yeah. Host, we know this is the player, and if we need to change it, Goji will change it, but we know it's the player. Okay. So now we know this works, right? If we go here and do host.anim.play idle, does it even know them? Almost got there, almost the full autocomplete, but that's pretty good. And we need host.states. We need to bring that over. So we go back to our player script and the other thing. Host states. Okay. We go back to the player, and it's under signals, which we don't have any. Is a good place to put it. 1, 2. Enum. States. Idle. And walk. We do eventually want like a run, like an actual run. Goji. I think we'll do walk and then run. I like 2-phase, but we'll just do walk for now. And we'll futz with the speed as needed, I guess. Big shrug. Keep in mind, Goji, that a lot of what's here is like the template. Like Godot gave us this, right? And I don't know. For some reason, I think that's really cool because I like did nothing and then I was moving, right? And we're gonna keep building off that. It's so much easier to have like a seed and build your ideas off of it instead of, you know, all the shenanigans. Okay, but while we're here, let's set up some more of our state stuff. So we need access to the state machine at jump as well. So click, drag, control, release. That's not where I wanted it, but that's fine. And I leave that name alone. We're gonna jump down one more. Does it? I don't know, because some people recommend 2 lines between funcs. I don't know if I agree with that. But maybe without brackets, it makes more sense. I don't know. I'm not going to get hung up on it. Okay, so to ready, we need to add, first off, super. We don't want stuff to not work. State machine dot add state. So we're configuring our state machine, Goji. We need to do idle, and then we don't need to access the, that's the wrong button. We don't need to access the state machine nodes again, Goji, so we're just going to do it like that. And then once it's configured, we can do state machine dot initialize, and we need to pass it the host, which is the player. And I think we start it, and this is our starting state. So, oh my goodness, Kitty, you're being adorable. Why are you doing this? Sorry, Goji, I must pause to pet cat. He's so floofy. Hey, little rabbit fur buddy, how you doing? It's very cute how you get up on my wife's desk to look at me like that and be all cute. I appreciate the moral support. I really do. But today's going okay. That's what the Adderall's for, right, buddy? Yes, that's why we take medicine for all the ADHD. Yes, good boy. Alright, next. Nope, still petting cat. But we're going to try and multitask. Goji, we're going to try and multitask. The cat must always be pet. There is never a stop. So we have to keep going. Does this update the velocity? Yeah, it does. It does. So this actually works with our current thing. Alright, Goji, let's duplicate, change it, walk, and let's detach this script. Detach script. because we will be making one for this. But let's go ahead and add it since we're here. State, not states machine, state machine dot add state states dot. I can't type, Goji. I've never been able to type, but it's bad. It's bad, Goji. Thought I heard something. What the heck? Fucking, you're not safe here energy. I'll tell you what. What's going on out there behind me? Oh, it's the music. Chat, Goji is the music. Why does that happen to me so often? Dude, Goji, if I liked a song that had like a Discord ping in it, I'd be host. I think I do. I swear I've checked my Discord. I don't know how many times. I swear there's one in my playlist, dude. That's got like a little ping. That's a troll, man. It's freaking sounds like that. Okay, so the idle state knows how to switch over, and the player script does change it even in the template that Godot gives us. So we are going to attach a script, and we are going to call it player walk, right? What did we call the last one? Goji. I'm just going to create it, and we'll check after, and we can always, yeah. Player idle, player walk. Cool, 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 cool. Let's take this and bring it over, and we don't need this. We need to, I mean, it's basically just the reverse, right? Like if it is 0 procs, right? Sorry, I'm looking back at the other one. The other one has this like get movement direction, which I assume just asks for like the input direction, which does this have? It does, but it has no way to get it, and it doesn't make it available. So we'll come back to that. I think there's a good reason for doing both. But if it is 0 procs, we return idle. I guess it will start idling in the air too, but that's because we don't have a jump state. Okay, return null is 0 procs. We go back and let's host anim play walk. Is that it? Nope. Non-existent function. Ready? Huh? Does the character body not have a ready function? But it has to. Everything has a ready function. But do we not call it? We don't call it in the character or the entity script. Maybe we don't call it here, but we have to add it back later? Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Ooh! Okay, that worked. Can you see it, chat? Yeah, you can see it. Oh. That was... Should probably update my names properly. The danger of copy-pasting. Ooh! We got it! Okay, we're moonwalking. That's fair. That's fair. We don't change our pivot. We don't change our pivot. We should probably update our pivot, but we'll do that in the player script, I think, because that's all over the place. Okay. We're kind of skating. We're kind of moonwalking. It's fun though. Let's do it without the let's do it without the debug visual collision shapes. Walking. Like the speed's not right, so it feels kind of icy, but there's worse shit going on out there. Woo! And then we fall off the screen. Cool. That was faster than I expected to be, honestly. I figured I'd get way more distracted. Alright. Well, let's work on this player some, because it's very just a player. I think we will just work on the player and we'll figure out the entity script itself later. So, okay. We don't need any of these signals yet. I would like to keep default gravity, though I guess the player gravity's fine. I'm going to be honest, I do need to do jump math at some point, Goji, because like we haven't really talked about it, but I do know there's like some I left them all in the other room. There's like functions you can do if you're like, all right, I know how high I want to get, and this is my player's speed, then I do this function and apply that upward velocity, and then I'll get as high as I want. So I'm not like guessing, right, Goji? But I'm gonna guess for now. Actually, the reality is I'm gonna steal. I'm gonna steal probably. Yeah. You know what actually I should do, Goji? Even though you can't see it, is I need to set up some of the actions. Like some of the input actions, so I can get rid of this. And I have an Xbox controller here I do want to use because it's better for my wrist, I think. At least I feel that it is. So let me get that connected real quick. So we are working on setting up a controller, Goji. And Xbox controller via Bluetooth. There it is. No, that's not it. You're trying to pair, but add. Everything else. Can you not? It's blinking. Computer? Let's remove this one because I think that might be confusing it maybe. Oh, sorry. Still fighting Bluetooth, Goji. Maybe this one? Oh! I hit other Goji instead of just following the Bluetooth. Oh, but did that not connect? No, it did connect. It just took the Xbox controller a second. Okay, are you good, controller? Are you good? Let's find out. So, unfortunately, you can't see this. And this is almost important enough to be worth seeing. So let's look at OBS real quick and see if we can add a window capture that works for this. Blender menu, Godot menu. Ooh, well it did kind of find it. Godot. Okay. Type? So does that work? Will that work for a bunch of different stuff? Like I noticed it didn't. Let's bring this down. So it didn't. Can I just center this easily? Transform. Center to screen. There we go. Okay, and when I close it, what happens? Yeah, it finds the other Godot. Alright, that's not what we want. We're gonna change this to only pull the window title. So now it has to be the project settings. At least you can see project settings because that is kind of important. And then I can add more of these. And maybe I'll figure out a better way at some point. But we're going to rename this Godot Project Settings. And you might see it if I open it on another screen at some point. But we're going to do it this way. Dude, it is like a bootstrap stream. The stream where I stream about learning how to stream, and the stream where I stream about learning how to game. We met a streams about game dev? I don't know. What are we doing, Goji? We were adding actions. We were adding the input map. So, what do we need, Goji? What do we need in our actions? We need a left. We need a right. I was going to switch in the other one and look and make sure that stream didn't accidentally switch over to the other one, because it probably would, because they're both called good project settings. So I can't leave this one open. Okay, we need a new action. Move right. I like left first. Move left, then move right. We need jump. We'll need more later, obviously. Jump like cast. But we don't need any of that right now. Yeah, move right. Move left, move right, and jump is all we need. So we do A, D, left, right, left. Oh, is that literally the same? Like, I hold left on the joystick. Huh. Interesting. But if I hold left on here, it's not on the joystick, it's like left physical or left Unicode. But that's not the same. No, it is the same. Okay. Then I leave it like that, and then this is just going to be space, and we'll just do A for now. What? It should be on a joypad. Huh. Joypad. I want the Xbox A. There we go. Okay. Does that look right? Oh. It's not a bad idea to do this too. And now all my typical stuff will work for testing purposes. So let's close this. And let me make sure y'all can see it. Yeah, that's all there. Okay, Goji. Let's fix our other monitor a little bit so it's not quite so crazy. Whoop, 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 whoop. Alright. We need to clean up this control code a little bit, I think. And we're going to need some more stuff. Player. 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 There we go. Save. You know what? We should really put this on GitHub. Goji, this should really be on GitHub. I'll do that later. I don't think I have a GitHub account for. I don't think I have a GitHub account for Zim yet. I should do that. Not right now, but at some point. I wonder if I've taken that name myself, though. Whatever. I have alias for days. Not a big deal. Let's see what we're doing, Goji. I don't remember what I was doing. What else is new? Okay. Oh, project settings. What's the gravity at? I did 250 with these numbers. I'll probably change it at some point, but we'll try 250 for now. Okay. Sorry. You know what? When I started this, when I did this course, it felt so easy because we just started with nothing. And now there's so much stuff. Okay. Let's do... I think there's like a... Yeah. Let's do this. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to close this. We go down here. You know what? For now, let's do it their way. Funct get no get movement direction float, and then we're going to return input dot get axis move left. I appreciate that now those are there. So like a no, there's not a. We do all that in here, I think. Okay. Let's add some stuff in. Let's do some adding some stuff in. So I'm gonna. These are like character input disabled, false, and I think I'll worry about some of these later. Yay! I don't care about any of these. I don't care any about these. We need some values for speeds. Okay. Let's do. Const max speed. I guess it doesn't really want to. No, this is better as an export. They're right. This is better this way. Export var speed float equals 1700. We are stealing these numbers, chat, or Goji. I've gotta get better at that. Or pick one. One of the two. Var acceleration. We'll probably tweak everything here at some point, depending on how I feel, or what works better for the game. You know, well, actually, get out of here. We don't care about this. Those are y'all's comments, but I don't really want to sync it specifically. Sport var jump velocity float equals -2500. What is this jump deceleration? That's not the same as gravity. Where does this get applied? Search, find in files, jump deceleration, find. Oh, it's in the player jump script. Oh, it's if you release the button, that's how fast it decelerates. Perfect. I actually like this, like just the constant filter. Like I just do player and then I've got the player scripts, especially for stuff like this. It wasn't as good during the courses because I was like always kind of bouncing between. Oh yeah, everything's broken now. Shocker. Because I changed a bunch of variables and have it finished. Dash speed I don't care about. Knockback doesn't exist yet. Max fall time is for later. Cool. We don't need any of this stuff yet. Let's start on the physics process then. Let's just bye. We want move and slide though. We keep move and slide, Goji. We never get rid of move and slide. Do we have the input disabled? Yes. And then that, and then that, and then sorry, I'm going through, and then that, and then that. We should do that all in the same thing. All right, move and slide. So we're going to do if not input disabled, because it's useful to have a way to disable input, Goji, as we saw in the thing. I so want to do like let and const. I'm so JavaScript brained. And then we'll do if direction is greater than 0. So we get our movement direction, which is going to be a value from like -1 to 1 because of this input get access. And if I guess Goji, I'm kind of just flying through Godot stuff, right? I've spent more time in courses for these. I guess not flying. I feel like I'm flying, but because I've taken a bunch of courses, and this is probably still incredibly slow to someone who like really knows how they're doing. But I'm trying to do this as much as I can by referencing my own work, Goji. So I'm sorry if it's been a little that. But I should mention, because I think everyone who's shown me a course has mentioned this, and I do think it's valuable. Input get access. It actually looks at like the negative and positive action. We'll just convert that to -1 and 1 positive, right? And it's shorthand for all of this, which is just cool. It's just useful. Like, I'm sure every engine in the world has it, but it's useful to me. I also like that this is Python-esque. Okay, so pivot. So we created this pivot node last time, Goji, and the goal of this pivot node was to be able to turn things around. And this is when it happens. We should probably add it to our onReady because we're going to be using it. There we go. And we take the... Ooh, do I need to do this here? I do want to disconnect these because I don't want it to freak out. So if it is pivot.scale.x equals 1, and then else if direction is less than 0, pivot.scale.x equals -1. So like these can be, this direction can be a value from -1 to 1, but the pivot scale can only be 1 or -1. We don't want any drag. We will do this though. We'll come back around for that. Okay. So velocity x equal move forward. We're going to get rid of drag. We do have acceleration. We do have direction. We do have speed. So this, the further you do it, if like you're holding the joystick and it's not all the way over, oh, my joystick goes left and right too. That's, what the, okay, that's kind of fun. Wait, click. You can click with, oh, I don't know what that did. Sorry, chat. Wait, is this just Windows now? This might just be Windows because I'm doing this everywhere. Oh, it's just Windows. I didn't know that. Nifty. What happens if I do that, chat? What happens to the screen? Oh, it just freaks out? Well, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Goji. This is so hard for me. I don't understand why. Okay. Reaching an hour and a half. I might take a short break soon and then finish it out. I do have some friends coming over, Goji. We're going to watch -1. It's the movie where you're kind of a monster, dude. -1 is intense. Why'd you do that to that poor dude? That poor family, Goji. I guess because you got nuked. Yeah, yeah, that movie's a lot, dude. That movie's a lot. There's a lot of feels in that. Alright, we're good on that, and then we need to do jumping. If not is on floor or basic jumping, we're gonna do velocity.y plus equals gravity. And that at least gets us jumping. Okay. And then what we're gonna do, Goji, for now. This worked pretty well, but there's probably just better ways to do this, but we'll do this for now. If is on floor. There's no coyote time here yet, Goji. We'll work on that later. And input dot is action just pressed jump. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this because this is obviously terrible, but it will get us off the ground. Literally, in fact. I hope. My jokes are bad. Attack, throw, dash, jump, not, respawn, footstep. We don't need to do that yet. Direction, unhandled, yeah, that's for coyote time stuff. We'll come back to that. um, we want a new one of these, and we're gonna detach the script. I guess I should just create a node. That's probably easier, but we'll do jump. And then on the player, we need to add jump, and then we need to add the state to ready. State machine dot add state states dot jump state machine jump. And then we're gonna attach a script, and it's gonna be called oh, while I'm sitting here, let me add this for y'all. Let me add this for y'all. And by y'all again, I mean me and Goji. Let me add this for you, Goji, right? Project settings. And then we duplicate. Duplicate. How do we duplicate? Copy. Paste duplicate. And then we're gonna properties again. Attach node script. Whoa! Okay. Let's discard. Remove. Yes, please. We're just gonna do another window capture. Godot attach. I didn't expect it to keep the same thing, but I guess it would. Oh god, get rid of that. Go away. Cat, no. God dang it. I didn't expect it to show all that. Oh well. No one's watching except me. There it is. Does any of that matter? No, I don't think any of it matters. Yeah, that's fine. This is why we close a bunch of stuff. So it's normal. Okay, now you can see that, and it will show up. And I just have to be careful not to accidentally show it when I'm looking at other stuff. Is that... Which one is this? Godot attach node. Here it is. And we'll put this above project settings. Now y'all can see it, chat. Now y'all, or Goji and chat, everybody, everyone can just see it. The world can see it. Oh, what is happening there? But it's the same one. Okay, chat, Goji, I don't know what's happening there. Window title must match. Attach script, and then it will show up. And then attach script. Okay, we're back. We're good. Let's figure out what we're doing. We got this. We got this. We're gonna take. Let's just take idle. Okay. So, how the heck does that work? What do we do for this? We got the jump. We're actually just gonna have this play reset, I think. Just so we're on like that 0th frame. We're gonna just let everything else deal with gravity, and this is if host.is on floor, return host.states.idle. And we're not gonna walk with this one. We'll figure that out later. But we have to transition into it. So the way we do that is on idle, and we want this above. If host.jump, return host.states.jump. I don't think... Oh no, I didn't do it everywhere. Let's do this now before we like regret it down the line because we didn't do it. When I've copy pasted like the general structure from like 8 different classes. I guess I could put it on like the thing they extend and call it like player state, but I don't want to, and I won't. Okay, so we're here, and there's this, and then we're gonna do this and this, but I don't think we've created that state, or did we? We did. So does this just work? Let's find out what breaks. Ooh, too fast. Way too fast, at least for now. At least for now. What do we... Let's cut that like... let's cut that by a lot. And we just added more. Let's cut it by a lot. Whee! Still very slippery. 800. See that pivot? See that pivot, Goji? It's still too fast. The jump velocity is going to go fucking crazy, isn't it? Oh wait, we didn't actually add the jump, like, in. We didn't actually add the jump. And I think it's... Huh. How does that work again? If not... Yeah, that's not what we want. Do we make the host jump? Player. Jump. Oh, we did it in the jump. We did it here. There we go. That's what we're forgetting. I knew we were forgetting something, and that's gonna go absolutely mental. So let's just see what happens. And let's change this all the way down to like 600. Ooh, ooh. Gravity's probably harsher than I'd like. We'll work on that. That's where we do the math. It still feels like that at that walk speed. Because again, this is walk. Yeah, that just needs to be faster. Which luckily, the way this works, I think I can just change its play speed? Speed scale. I can change it. Change to 0.8. And let's do that. Let's make it a little faster. It's a little floaty, but it's not the worst thing. And we'll want to change this. Actually, it ends up needing a lot more power, but probably less gravity. I do like this part of game dev, though, where you can... where you can just do values that like you'd never see in a game, right? Like change the rate of fire like to stupid, like just really play with these ideas, right? So I kind of want this. That's too high and too fast, so we definitely need to figure this out. This might be a solid break point just for now. I can touch the sun. See, the problem is the speed's just too slow from like a fun to play perspective. So let's animation player, animation. Let's crank off a little bit more. 0.7. Yeah, and let's bring the jump down a little more too, because that was a little wild. I mean, again, we probably want like, yeah, we probably want it to be like a slower up and a faster down, which I think is pretty typical, especially in retro, right? Because it's like, I think Mario's weight is 3 times higher, or I guess mass, because it's gravity. His mass is like, well, no, because that's not how gravity. He falls 3 times faster than he rises, which is not physics, right? So I don't even know why I'm trying to apply physics terms. He falls 3 times faster than he rises, because I think the idea is, like, most players, when they're rising, is like where they're making the decisions, right? That's the fun part. Making decisions, paying attention, that's the fun. Excuse me. That's the fun part. That's where the attention is spent. And by the time you get to the top, you're like, if it's too floaty, you're just kind of waiting, right? So it's nice to try and put that floating, like put more decision time near the start. And then when they reach the top and they're starting to go down, like you want the player to be done. So you can just fall as quick as you can, get them back on the ground, and get them like moving to that next fun decision, right? Like that's the whole point of platforming. Moving through the world itself needs to be fun. That's why like dashes and ooh, the controller works too. I just switched to controller. That works great actually. I mean, obviously the jump's very janky, and with this hat I need something, like we need a jump animation, obviously. Like that's a big thing we're missing. Like that would make I want the hat to come off, kind of like that idle pop. I like this though. This is fun. Obviously there's nothing here. We should put a like platform here. I think that height is just right though, because that I want to, yeah, like the height of the jump is good. I like where the height gets, because I don't want to move the camera too much, because that adds a whole other extra layer of logic. Like I've played around with like setting up camera stuff and creating like a tile map where as you approach the edge of a thing, oh, that's up. I'll have to be careful about this. I probably won't have up jump on the controller so I don't accidentally jump. But I had a little tinker thing where like you could, as it approached, I guess I could just show it. Can I like bring it up and then it will work with stream? Let's find out. Open another Godot. What did I call this? Hack and slash? I hope this works. I may have broken it at some point by accident. Yes. Yes, I did. Missing file. World debuggia, or one of its dependencies. Bummer. I deleted something in there, so I can't even run it. But I think that's in GitHub, so maybe I'll try and have that set up for next week. Okay. Let's think about what we're doing next, because I think I'm going to take a break and think about what I'm doing next. Get up, walk away. Rest my wrist, all that fun stuff. Okay, what's next on the list? We got this in. We do have an idle animation, which is working. It does kind of pop. Which, whatever. I can create a lead out eventually. Just figure out like what frame I'm on and run it to like the center of the animation as you slow down. Or eventually the hat needs to be separate. But for right now, it pops up, whatever. It does feel good though when it just kind of like it eases in just right. But if I do it down, it kind of pops, right? Because it doesn't really matter. That feels okay. I need to get the projectile in. Let's write some notes. It's note time, chat. Where's my note? I need to go find my notebook. I need to write notes and figure out what the next step should be, Goji. Okay. Uh, the hat pop is fun, but not like super critical. We should probably need to add in some platforms. Yeah, it's time to add in game loop elements and not focus on polish stuff. So again, so we'll make our focus game loop, right? We're looking for like, what are our 15 seconds of fun, right, Goji? What are our 15 seconds of fun? So what do we not have? We want our magic spell. So we need the attack state. Basically, let's just do attack slash spellcast, right? Like that's just a thing we don't have, and that's part of our core game loop. If we want that, we eventually need a training dummy just to hit, so training dummy. We'll save that though for after the attack, I think. So right now we've got the attack as a 1 priority, and we'll give the training dummy like a 5 priority. Well, I guess I should reverse that, right? Let's do lower numbers. So training dummies like definitely a 1 if lower numbers are. It's like the last thing we need to just test out our game loop. But hitting something I think is important for feels. So we'll make the attacks probably the most important thing. We do have the hat pop, but that's not game loop. That's polish. Is it really just the attacks next? Is it like that simple? Oh, I guess movement math would be good. That's probably slightly less than the attack, but it's still important. I should do those functions and figure out, like, move math. Like how it's going to feel, how far the jump's going to be, so I can figure out what the level design. That's the big thing, I think, doing the jump math, Goji, is I can, like, I know how far my character can jump, because using those functions will tell you this is like their max in pixels. So that means I know how far away I can put like platforms, Goji, or how high I can put platforms, right? Really, what you want to do should be based. I'll have to do the math and then just show it on stream, Goji, because I don't think it's fun or interesting for anyone, much less me, to just be sitting here fumbling with math on stream. All right, so we want the move math, speed plus jump, and that we have the right. And then kind of in the same vein, I'd say the same priority as the move math. We want some like camera movement, some basic camera movement. Maybe that's lower though. And by that I just mean left and right, Goji. I think we're keeping our camera on an axis. Basic cam move. We want that. And that's actually pretty easy, admittedly, at this point, Goji. We just want to make sure that it's only tied to the player's X. But normally the camera is set up as a child of the player. Huh, Goji. I did that. The hack and slash is busted, but the camera logic's still there, so I can look back at what I did and figure that out. So that's not world ending. Basic cam move would be useful. I think it's the spell cast though, Goji. I think we need an attack. I think we need an attack, Goji. So let's think about that, right? What does the attack mean? Like, what are the steps, right, Goji? Well, obviously, attack slash spellcast. We're doing range, you know. Cast. Do we want charge, Goji? I guess I do. Do we want charge at the gate? Or do we... I mean, I guess that's not what we do at the gate, right? So what's our limit, Goji? So from an asset standpoint, we need our limit. Like, what's just our... pew, 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 right? We need to add a spawn marker. We need some kind of projectile management. We'll figure that out. I'm going to have to think about that a bit. Because the way I did in the course, Goji, felt janky. Like, it worked. But maybe it just works great that way, right? Like, maybe I'm overthinking it. I want to look at it and overthink it some more. All right. So we got some projectile management. We need a spawn marker on the character for like where the spell sits before I fire it. Eventually particles, but I'm not worried about that right now. Obviously, that means we need the attack state, right? Because even if we don't have an animation, we still go into the attack state and figure out when in the attack state the lemon spawns. And it also, we'll want that Goji if we had a charge, right? Because if we enter the attack state, see that they're charging, and then do charge things. Don't get hung up on the charge state, me or Goji. So we need the attack state. So we need the lemon, the spawn marker, projectile management, the attack state. We need to defend about. Oh yeah, there's all like the collision. We need the projectile scene. That's what I'm so that's what we're missing. We need a projectile scene. Goji. Is that like a projectile scene? Duh. Okay. Well, Goji, it's been a long morning. We're not 2 hours, which I would have liked, but I can come back. I think I'll stream some tomorrow. I'm not promising that, Goji. Let's be real. I got my stream. I got my recap. I got some stuff exported, and I think I'll do more of this today or tomorrow. Just we'll see if it's on stream. That's what the recap's for, Goji. It's just kind of a check-in. Let's move the witch around some more. This feels good, I think. Oop. Sorry, my controller's acting like a keyboard too, which is weird. Yeah, it's acting weird. I'll have to keep that in mind. Am I dead? I jumped off. And coyote time. Let's add that in like immediate polish or something, like just as something to do. Add coyote time, because that's not hard to add. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, the problem is we want to attack like in the air too. Do we have that be a state? I guess it would need to exit and figure out what state to become, or we do that thing where it like becomes idle and then does it, but then it would play the idle animation in the air. I'll think about that too. I need some design time, I guess. Which is easier to do. Why is this slow? Oh, is it because I'm not... Yeah, I can like walk and then pew, and then pew. The acceleration goes to full very quickly. I wonder if I want to slow that down. Yeah, I need some lemons. Maybe all the states can shoot and attack isn't really... No, because charge state. Maybe I figure out if I'm charging and attack like isn't tied to state. It's its own thing. It doesn't have to be tied to state. Because if every state can attack, they just every frame figure it out. Nah, I should probably want an attack state. But how does that work with like dash? No, bloody hell. I gotta figure out why it's acting like a keyboard at some point, but not today. I think we're gonna leave it at that because I'm just staring at it and I could use a break. Alright, Goji, we're signing off. Definitely I'll see you next week if I don't get to another one later, but I don't know. I should. I feel okay. I feel like I could. See how the rest of the day goes, Goji. I'm gonna stop streaming now. For now. Goodbye.